In this video, we'll be unboxing the Sith Infiltrator for the 30th anniversary line. This is a vehicle that I used to own in my collection. I actually got this on Christmas of 2007, and it's a really good ship. I really like it. The only reason why I ended up parting ways with it mostly is because the landing gear on mine was a little bit broken, and I was never able to get it in a good enough position where I could actually have it be totally leveled with the ground while it was in the landing position. So instead, I basically just had it'd be like landing it without actually using the gear. And that always kind of bothered me. So then I think it was about 2017 or so, I went ahead and sold my first Sith Infiltrator after 10 years of having it. Then a couple years went by and I was like, I kind of wish I didn't do that. But thinking back on it, it's like, it's hard to say if it was broken. After I take this out of the box, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about by that. But hopefully this new sample right here is not too bad. I actually got this for a really good price. I got it for just about the retail price it was back in 2007. And of course, if you don't know anything about the Sith Infiltrator, I'm sure the images give it away, and of course from the Phantom Menace. But it was gifted to Darth Maul from Palpatine, who it was gifted to by Darth Plagueis. So that's a very interesting bit of history. One thing I'll mention about this ship as well is that it's severely underscaled. If you recall seeing in the Phantom Menace, Hasbro designed this to be like a fighter, while it really should be like a regular sized ship. That's the equivalent of, I would say, like the Millennium Falcon. Of course, it's not quite that large, but it's in the same caliber where it's a ship that you can make your home basically. And it's probably one of my favorite ships in all Star Wars. I really wish Hasbro would revisit this and make one that's actually to scale. I don't think they ever will, but it might be a potential HasLab idea. Some people, I have suggested that before, and some people say that it's terrible that we have to count on a HasLab to potentially get a Sith Infiltrator when it should be a standard release. And I totally agree with that, but I really just can't see Hasbro making this ship any other way. I'm sure there's enough demand that a lot of people would want a new one that's to scale, but maybe not quite to the caliber where Hasbro's going to jump on it. There's so many things that will take priority along the way. But just some interesting facts about the history I've had with this over the last, 17 years now at this point. And I'm glad to finally have one reunited with my collection. And even if the landing gear is a little off on this, I'm still going to keep it anyway, because it's a Sith Infiltrator. I mean, like I said, it's one of my favorite ships in Star Wars. So show off the package here real quick. So nice image of Maul there. The ship has seen its share of releases between 30th anniversary, which I think is the very first release. I don't think the Saga collection was the first. It's interesting, it took us almost a decade before we finally got Darth Maul's ship, though. You think they would have done that back in the Phantom Menace line, but they never did. So spring open wings, Sith Infiltrator 30th. Nice image of it on the side here. It's very nice. Then the description right there. The Sith Infiltrator streaks silently and invisibly through space to its destination. Hidden beneath the side panels and mounted on the wings are launchers that fire probe droids or missiles, depending on whether the craft's pilot is on a mission to seek or destroy his intended quarry. The wings flare open, greatly increasing the craft's speed and attack maneuverability. Darth Maul flies a Sith Infiltrator to the planet Tatooine during his quest to find Queen Amidala. But yeah, this is the landing gear I was talking about. It was the left side, I think, was a little faulty for mine. And it could barely stay in the place, and then it just fall off all the time. So we have that. Ship right there. Firing missiles. Figure fits inside vehicle, which I will bring out my original Darth Maul, my very first one that I had, that I used to house in the Sith Infiltrator. Now he's going to be reunited with his ship. Spring open wings. Reveal hidden weapons, which I think are actually probe droids instead. Then the V-Wing is another ship I used to have. I hope to get that again at some point. And then this version of the Imperial TIE Fighter, which I don't have. But I do have an unboxing video of an Imperial TIE Fighter from the Legacy Collection now, if you want to check that out. And of course, all the usual stuff on the bottom. Then another image of the ship on the side. Bring out Darth Maul real quick here. We'll do his own video at some point, but just kind of show you. Yep, this is the first Darth Maul I got back in 2007. By the time I started collecting, a lot of the Phantom Menace action figures were already phased out in stores, so I never found them all until then. And the first time I saw this at my local Walmart, I was like, oh, I finally have to get a Darth Maul for my collection, so this is the one. Over the last 17 years now. Looks like it's tied in there pretty good. We did get a toy catalog. I was hoping it would have one of these. I don't think I've taken a look at any of the 30th anniversary ones on the channel as of yet. I really miss getting a lot of this stuff with the action figures though. So the instructions on how to put it together. And look at the checklist last. So a nice image of R2-D2 there. And a lot of these I have to get a video for on the channel. I do have quite a few that you see on here. I used to own the Rebel Honor Guard. Of course, the Galactic Marine. Always a favorite of mine. Of course, the Sith Infiltrator, V-Wing, and I would not mind getting Sacy Tin's Starfighter at some point. I have seen prices for that on eBay recently, and it doesn't seem like it's too bad. Some of the comic packs, the originals, a lot of these were just straight repaints of previous action figures before the comic pack line really stepped it up and started giving us a lot of interesting expanding universe characters. Some of the battle packs. I wouldn't mind that Capture on Tantive 4 pack. Battle of Geonosis, and then Jedi Training on Dagobah. Some electronic lightsabers. I did have Obi-Wans at one point. Unfortunately, none of these lightsabers were ever really that stable, so they would break on me quite often. The Unleash packs, something that's a thing of the past. Same with the Galactic Heroes. I never collected any of this stuff. Then the Transformers. I never collected any of these either. Interesting they made Darth Vader's Sith Starfighter though. I wouldn't mind getting the action figure version. Then the checklist up to figure number 30. Very nice. Well, let's see how we can take this out. It's probably going to involve some cutting. is probably going to be on the little bit more complicated side. And they really put this thing in here pretty good. Alright, hopefully this will pop out. And the landing gear is already in place here. Yeah, I forget which one it was. I think it may have been the right side here. This was just totally loose for mine, and it popped out all the time. And then I would just have the one right here, and then, of course, if you have it in the landing position, it was always lopsided. Yeah, you see what I mean, where you recall in the Phantom Menace, Darth Maul has the landing bridge in the back here. But instead, here it's just like a fighter. so we got the missiles and the probe droids here. See, they did the probe droids like a missile. Put this in an interesting way. They actually wrapped it around there. I do recall back in 2007 when I got this, having a hard time putting this together. Now I see why, because of all these twist ties. Alright, so the way you have these hooks here, that latches onto there. You can only really do one at a time. Oh my, look at that. So the way you get this to open up in the front here is, how does that go again? This is for the wings, I think, yeah. This latch right here. Then for the front, I'm trying to think how that went again. Ah, yes. I think there's something on the side here. recall correctly. Yeah, you hate it when you forget about this stuff. This is where there's 2 buttons on the side here, not here for the turret, but that popped out on me. Okay. So then the probe droids going right here. And I think you're supposed to be able to shoot them from here. No, it's right here. It's pretty good distance on it. And for the 2 missiles, just go right there. Now let's see how Darth Maul fits inside. I'm pretty sure this is the Darth Maul that comes with the speeder bike and the Phantom Menace line. And I'm pretty sure this is the Maul that's meant to really go inside the Infiltrator here. See, it's pretty compact. Not a whole lot of gears or anything for him. It does fit in there good regardless. And then you can take the landing gear out. Probably shouldn't do that right now. I'd probably end up breaking it. We'll just leave it there for now. I'll be doing plenty more videos with this anyway, so we'll show off some different angles and how it looks then. Very nice. I'm glad to finally add this back in my collection. It's one of my favorite ships back in the day. Well, I think for now we'll leave it at that. Like I said, we'll do some more videos here in the future. Maybe I'll do a Tatooine display simulating Maul being on the hunt outside of Mos Espa there. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support, and check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. Of course, as always, thanks for watching.